Gun Cody with the Envoy Herald program. So I've got here Hoard, Beware the Dragon. It's a game by Julia Schiller, who's a New Zealand board game designer of Cheeky Parrot games. Her intent is to have games that are accessible to everybody that become family staples. So Hoard, Beware the Dragon, unboxing.
Okay.
You've got a 6-player game. They're intending it for 10-minute rounds, and they put it age 14 and up, but you could easily teach this to a 4-year-old. It's got some cool dynamics and bluffing techniques that allow you to play it at increasing ages and still get some fulfillment out of it. The art is what I was told to pay attention to. It's drawn by the artist who worked on Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. So it's got a fantasy type element to it.
I like how everybody's standing on a mound of gold.
Oh yes, yeah they are. As they walk through the dragon's hoard, picking up the most treasure amongst themselves. So looks like it's all stands.
Okay.
You got some double-sided stands on there. There is a die. I think that determines movement as you walk around a circular room.
2.
And then we got a deck of cards.
All right.
6, I can count. Ooh. Yeah, now that is what you open up.
Yeah. It's
The
stained.
Dragon's Hoard. Is this
From,
real sized?
Yeah, the hobbits are
pint-sized. Ooh, pint-sized. Hobbit sword.
Yeah.
Goodness sakes. Alright, so what do we got?
So,
Oh yeah, that makes the dragon. So I guess this game, you build your dragon in the middle
okay.
and it starts asleep. And as the game progresses, you take actions that you wake the dragon. I'm not sure if you play blue side or red side, but so if you do something and it starts waking the dragon, you'll flip over the cards or something like that.
Okay.
And then the dragon's fully awoke. So it gives you some kind of end game timer with that. So 6-player game, but they only inserted 4-player action cards.
Yeah, the other 2 don't count. I mean, they're going to be burnt.
They should already know the game. All right, so we've got
Okay, gold.
gold and diamonds.
Diamonds.
Oh, this might be a set building game.
Okay.
So you're trying to collect based on different types.
Skulls.
Eek.
It's more like
She and ook. Wow, words. Okay, so this one would flip over a blue to a red.
okay.
Hey, Sting.
Sting, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Let's see. Yeah.
It's
that
pretty fair. Doesn't look like there's anything in here that's ultimately going to scare off a 4-year-old, but
Right.
then we have these extra
Are you
cards.
sure Eek is not gonna?
There is a skull. I'm not sure what these are.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so however, we're going to be trying to show people off this game
Yeah.
on Sunday. So working with this developer, Cheeky Parrot, going to see if we can play this on the second weekend of February.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you're right. The art looks amazing. I'm kind of intrigued by this. You know, like I like how that is the timing mechanism. It looks great. It looks great on the table. And I mean, all these cards, the art is just, amazing.
Consistent, rich, bold colors. Gives me a very Splendor feel. As far as like, I'm seeing jewels.
Right.
These ones in the deck pack are separated out. I'm sure there's instructions why, but they look the same as these ones over here. I'm not seeing any very...
No difference in the bags?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Except the feathers and the diamonds.
Awesome.
Okay.
So that's Hoard. Tonight we played Hoard, this game right here.
Yep.
So
Insert picture.
yeah,
Between hands.
it was my first game.
My first game.
Your first
Yep.
game,
Yep.
and
My 10th.
10th. Yeah, yeah. We played 2 games of it. You won both times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But what'd you think?
It's all right. It's very luck based,
Right.
so that isn't always my favorite type of game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with Hoard, they're going for a family-friendly audience.
Yeah.
The top floor is. The top floor
They're
is gonna
trying to
have
be
replaced.
family-centered.
We'll just stop for a sec. Yep. All right.
So they're trying to be family-centered, but then the rules are pretty... If you do this, this happens if this happens,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And that might not be able to teach as easily to a younger child in your family. but-
Right.
Yeah.
So my very first thought was, man, I am getting brutalized, like, 'cause the first game ended so quickly, and like, I still didn't have time to just encapsulate what I was supposed to be doing,
Right,
and like
right.
how all the cards are interacting, and but I mean, the second game was smoother,
Yeah.
and also like, I could finally play, not just be.
Give a card, pick up another
Yeah.
card, pick up another card.
He didn't understand the whole play a set
Yeah.
part in the first
Well, I
game.
couldn't. I couldn't play a set.
Well, you never did. I don't know how you play 5 rounds.
I could have, but I mean, I didn't know that the I guess the wild card was,
Oh yeah.
anyways, bridge under
Yeah.
bridge under water here. What were some things that you liked and you didn't like?
I like the aspect of waking up the dragon,
Yeah, yeah,
having that
Yeah,
opportunity.
forcing the end of the game basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And being able to play 3 of those cards and get 5 points.
yeah,
That's a good rule.
yeah. It's a nice
Another rule
tension
I
builder.
forgot.
Mhm.
There's that.
Yeah. I mean, for seemingly such a small game, there's a lot to learn.
There
you know?
is, yeah. That was kind of one of the downfalls I felt. Kind of like you'd said, it's almost more complicated than it needs to be. For such
Yeah.
a simple game, there was a lot of different things to try to keep track of and remember.
Right.
Again, after 3 or 4 games, it probably wouldn't be that difficult, but
Right.
it just...
I know you mentioned that the cloak was sort of useless.
Yes.
Yeah.
The cloak needs improvement. It's not balanced.
Yeah,
Nobody wants to play it for its intended purpose
Right.
of covering somebody else's points because there's it's not swingy enough.
if if you're sort of in contention between you and another player, and you had it as your last,
The exact right
Thing,
time, I
yeah.
guess, yeah.
but otherwise, like I mean, it's very situational when that can be used and used effectively,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
and not be like a kingmaker card.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, so I actually liked the sword. Like
The swords and the shields was kind
Yeah.
of neat. Yeah, once we figured out how to do that, I
Mhm.
definitely, that was
Yeah.
kind of an interesting...
that was
Once
nice.
you figure out how to do that, I definitely reaped the bitter end
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah. Like for a beginner, like if you taught it again to somebody brand new, or if you taught it to somebody
Mhm.
brand new, like what are some things that, how would you do it, and what do you think you should point out, like stress, extremely?
Yeah. I mean, I guess the hardest thing, and I think even had trouble explaining because we weren't getting it until the second game, was just how all the different things. There's so many, like the sword you could do, if you play it, it goes one of these 3 things, or if somebody blocks it, it does these 2 other things. Like it's almost too much to try to figure out when you're trying to learn everything else about the game too.
Yeah.
So some of those things were just hard to teach because there's just a lot happening.
With that, you complained that I didn't tell you all the rules, but and that's why. With this one, you just want to get them on
Right,
the core
yes,
topics
yes.
and let them.
But it's almost
roll.
like if the cards even said on them, like it had the icon
Yeah, this game doesn't really benefit from using only iconography.
Right.
right. Not only I just feel like it would help a little, so you'd kind of
Be nice.
remember
to
what
have.
everything did. Because then there's the crown and the scepter, and there's a lot of different other cards. Seemed
Mhm.
like.
Yeah.
Do you think the game, like, to me, it felt like it drug on a little too long at some points?
Yeah.
There was one, I think the first round of the second game we played, I felt like awfully long, you know, like we couldn't end it or
Yeah.
for some reason.
And again, I think some of that's kind of luck based on the cards we were pulling. Like obviously
Mhm.
nobody was pulling sets, or their
Yeah.
hand would have been more empty. Like
Yeah.
I think that.
I kept playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
too.
He was which like you said is an interesting mechanic to be able to control the length of the game if somebody's getting close to winning. If you get the
Right.
cards at the right time, you could
Mhm.
slow that down and either give yourself or somebody else a chance to catch
Yeah.
up or whatever. So
Yeah. I got frustrated a lot when I just wasn't. Yeah, it's sort of like a partly memory game also.
yeah,
But like just not drawing, like not getting.
not getting the ones I
The
want. That was
cards
my
and-
problem too.
But I mean, yes, it is luck based,
Yeah.
and you know,
Yeah,
take it for what
it is
what
interesting
is.
that where you land. I guess where you start, like you look at it, but you can't take that one. Like you have to move it unless you get that one roll on the die. So it's
Mhm.
like I would know
Mhm.
at some point where a card I needed was, but I could never get to it because I kept rolling the wrong ones. Like
Mhm.
it was kind of
Yeah.
there's a different mechanic that I think a lot of games you sort of once you know where they are, you can just pick those whenever you need it. But that one was a little more interesting that you had to use the die.
Right.
Another element of luck in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a card that you want and you're rolling the die, you're just going to keep bouncing back
Right,
and forth
that,
around
which
that
I
one
did a
until you
bunch of
get
times.
the
Exactly.
I couldn't
number
get
you
to
need.
it. That was pretty frustrating. Like and then I think when I got to it, it wasn't what I thought it was anyways.
Right. It's sort of. I mean, it's a D6. You could sort of like do, you know, two sides as a one, like two sides having
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
two ones, two twos, a three, and the princess or whatever.
Right.
You know, so I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Narrow it down a little bit more, but yeah.
Because the more you bounce around, for me,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna remember that.
Well, other people are bouncing too, so they're changing those cards out. That's what
Mhm.
kept happening to me. I was pretty sure. I think what I thought it was what I saw, not
Yeah.
realizing somebody else had sat on it and changed that card out, so you don't know
Yeah.
what it was. So,
Yeah.
which is, I guess, in defense of the game, that's part of the game
Mhm.
that you don't always know where everything is. So somebody
Yeah.
who's really good at memory, really good at almost card counting, doesn't have an advantage.
Yeah. I mean, I did get enjoyment from the game
Mhm.
actually in the second game. You know, like I feel like I can
Yeah.
play more, but like not too much because, to me it just drags on a little too long
Yeah.
and too luck based.
Yeah.
But it does have good mechanics as far as I like the movement.
The
Maybe
movement's
it could
interesting.
be
Yeah, it's not just drawing off
refined.
the top of a deck.
Yeah,
There's stuff going on, which is pretty cool.
and the abilities once you learn them, it's really cool. I like them.
Yeah.
So.
So it's expanded out here and it's a
Yeah.
little cloudy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You really just need to tighten that thing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring
Yeah.
it together.
Yeah.
A little more play testing and
Right.
real reviews
Yeah.
about those mechanics.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. So that's Hoard.